Okay, the Cleveland Browns have now been linked to two, what I would say, perfect moves. If you've been watching this channel, you know the salary cap situation of this team. You know that they're going to have to find players, and that's kind of the fun in what we do here. We'll get to that in a second. But they're going to need to find talent in areas that you don't normally find talent. The Cleveland Browns have gone out and spent the money. We know where they've spent the money. We know where they've put it. They've put it in the offensive line. They've put it into Myles Garrett. They put it into Deshaun Watson. They have it into Amari Cooper. Like, that's where the money is right now with the Browns. And I would say there's one player that everybody's going to argue that's not a good spot, and it's a lot of money, but those are the places the money needs to be. It's into David Njoku as well. All right, the money's in the right spots. But the question is how can you fill out the rest of this roster? For the rest of it now, you've got to play that smart game, almost like the Oakland Athletics, right? You got to play a little money ball here. You got to figure out where can we get players? How can we draft players? All right, and you don't have anything until the second round. So where can we draft players? And then what kind of players can we get on cheap contracts so they don't hurt our salary cap nearly as much as some of the others? So in this video, let's talk about two, one through the draft and one through a link that we've been linked to in free agency. All right, so the first one, let's just talk about it. Is a very, very familiar name, and I got to get this background right. As you know, we're Detroit Lions fans, so, but we love the Browns. We feel kind of a kinship with you guys, and we love the NFL. That's why we did this channel. And so the first one you're connected with is Brendan Rice, and if you're wondering, Rice, wait a minute. Yeah, it's that Rice, all right? Jerry Rice. His father is Jerry Rice. And so, of course, I've been watching this kid at USC and no, he's not his dad. But this is kind of, okay, so in this draft, everybody's talking about Marvin Harrison Jr., right? And they're talking about who his dad is in Marvin Harrison. And so this idea, now Brendan Rice has been on the West Coast. He's kind of been lost. He's in this different kind of offense. I'm telling you right now, Brendan Rice is a player. I'm not saying he's Marvin Harrison Jr., but he's a player that has the ability to produce for a team day one, and he also has the pedigree, the bloodline, and the brain to be a player that could end up being a wide receiver one. He's 6'3", 210 pounds. He is currently projected to be there when the Browns are picking. So what did his stats look like in college? All right. Well, he played a lot over the last 2 years. He played a lot of snaps over the last 2 years. Not a ridiculous amount of snaps, but a good amount. And he turned those into, in 2022, 62 targets for 39 catches, 611 yards. In 2023, he got targeted 70 times, turned it into 45 grabs for 791 yards. That's an average of 17.6 yards per catch. Wait for it, 12 touchdowns. That is the big difference maker in this one. All of a sudden, he started getting the ball and he started getting touchdowns. He started understanding what was going on. Here's the way I look at it. He started coming into his own. He started realizing what his game is. He started getting there what it takes, all right? Hold on. I'm sneezing mid-filming. Do I start over? We're 4 minutes in. No, I can't start over. I'm not doing that. I got kids upstairs. I got to go bring them to their grandparents' house. All right, we're going to keep going. Why did I just sound like Owen Wilson on that one? All right, so what is the next one that I'm talking about, this next good move for the Cleveland Browns? The Browns are being named a potential landing spot for wide receiver KJ Osborn. If you're not familiar with KJ Osborn, you can see he played for the Vikings this year. The Vikings had major injury issues with Justin Jefferson, all right? Arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL. And KJ Osborn is this guy who's usually a fourth or fifth wide receiver on a team, might do some return stuff, things like that. He had to step in and play wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 1 type minutes. There were times where the top 2 receivers in Minnesota were out, and KJ Osborn was the guy that they were looking to for it. All right. Here's what Brad Spielberger wrote. He's a wide receiver 3/4, but has been productive in a very high volume Vikings pass attack. Ultimately, drops plagued him in 2023, but he'd provide solid depth for a lot of teams. And one has to imagine, with the addition of first-round rookie Jordan Addison and the emergence of Brandon Powell this past season, that perhaps Minnesota works a bit harder to retain the speedy Powell on a cheaper deal. All right, Osborn, 48 catches this year for 540 yards, 3 touchdowns. Here's the thing about Osborn, all right? I'm telling you right now, he would immediately be on your team, and he might be the number 2 wide receiver. That wouldn't be the hope. But if you can get a wide receiver 4, if you can get somebody on wide receiver 4 money, but he can end up producing like a wide receiver 2 or even a wide receiver 3, these are the kind of moves you need to make. How can you get incrementally better? And if you're not ready for this type of stuff this offseason, Browns fans, you got to buckle up, because this is what your offseason is. It's cheap deals and draft. How are we going to bring people in? All right, restricted or after the draft, your free agents that you're getting that are undrafted free agents, look hard at that list. We'll do that here. Don't worry. We're going to do that here. But that's where it is. So here's the question that I have for all of you. What is your confidence level in this Browns team going into this upcoming season? Like, are you feeling good coming off 11-6 season? Are you feeling bad? Do you feel like you got some stuff at the quarterback position that you need to work out? There'll be another video that I'll do talking about the actual real reason you let go of Van Pelt, the offensive coordinator. Let's just say the Browns didn't think Watson was developing fast enough. That's why you brought in a better offensive coordinator. You did. You brought in better coaches. You kept your major talent. And now it's time for you to fill out the outside of the roster. Here's the good news. When I look at your team, I don't know that you can afford to keep Amari Cooper. I know you have to. But here's the thing about wide receivers. You can get good wide receivers really easily through the draft at all points in the draft. This is an extremely talented wide receiver draft class. And that is one of the few positions where it's like, yeah, we need someone there. That's where you need to go with your second round. So we'll hone in on some of the stuff with wide receiver, and we can talk about what other positions you think you might need and all that kind of stuff. But I see one glaring need on this team. That is it. So let me know what you think of the video. Let me know what you think about those 2 players. I'm not saying it's like the flashiest of the flashy, but it could absolutely work for you guys. Hope you liked the video. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much for watching.